work. I should have done my hair. How are you? What's happening? Let's move this over so you can see Biden Harris. It's Friday. It's Memorial Day weekend, and I'm gonna crack open a beer, a fake beer, and wait for y'all to show up. Honestly, I have hair that has a mind of its own. Pour yourself a drink. Get ready. We're diving in. We're going in. Spin. Cheers. Settle in. Make yourself comfortable. You set up your notice today, so you got a notification? Good. Here I am. I was just briefing myself on what the heck is going on in this country. I figured out what Carolyn Levitt means when she says that this is a transparent administration. Because you know how she says that? She says this is a transparent administration. So I figured out what that really means is that we can see the crimes. The crimes are right in front of our faces. Oh, we're ready to fight Trump and in Boston. Yes. Yeah. What the heck? What the heck? Yeah. So don't you love it when she says, hello, hello, hello. Don't you love it when Carolyn Levitt says, gotta love it, Levitt, when she says, this administration is so transparent, yeah, that it's committing crimes right in front of our eyes. How about that dinner they had? Yeah. How about that dinner? Can you imagine if a Democratic president did that? I did read on the Harvard situation last night, or yesterday. We had our meditation last night. But yesterday, a PNN pop-up, during a PNN pop-up, I did read on the Harvard situation. And actually, what I said was exactly what happened, because I saw a female stopping this ridiculousness. And you like that one? Transparency? I saw a female stopping the ridiculousness, and it was a female judge. And we'll look at that a little bit more too. I actually, the other day on Wednesday, I said, I have a whiteboard, and I got some new pens for my whiteboard, and I just wrote down all the things I had to bring up. Yeah, Harvard is suing him over it. Yeah, so this is going to just be, you know, this year, we're almost halfway into the year. This year is a year that we can't take our eye off the ball at all. And I don't mean to say that this is going to last an entire year, because I honestly don't think that it will. Yeah, I honestly think that, I mean, when Dumpy starts messing with Tim Cook of Apple, he's the CEO, right? And telling him what to do. I mean, he's messing with these people that have these huge corporations. You don't get much bigger than Apple. I mean, that's pretty damn big. And he's picking on the people who contributed to his campaign, who contributed to his inauguration fund. He's picking on the, I know, Tim Apple, he called him once. Besides the fact, Kathy alerted me today to that Dumpy's tweets or truths or whatever you call them, they took them down. The White House took them down. Let me get this flower I just said Gru's face. Oh, I have to just take the flower out because it's not in very good shape. Okay, that's better. Amanda's here. You haven't missed a thing. they took down his from the White House website apparently, which I would never go to because I would just be like, gag me. I see enough. Let's read initially on this. You guys all comfortable? You know, we're here for a whole hour. Thomas, the dad joke person, is back from Italy. Carolyn Levitt answered third graders' questions with lies. How does she sleep at night? Carolyn Levitt is a very dumb blonde. Oh yeah, those are stargazing lilies. Nice. Carolyn Levitt is a really dumb blonde. Yeah, Thomas is recovering from his trip. You know, those third graders, this is a beer I'm drinking, Michael, in case you're wondering. See, non-alcoholic brew. There you go. Those third graders were way smarter than Carolyn Levitt. Way smarter. She made an ass out of herself. Oh, aren't you cute? They're asking her these really complicated questions like, what is the president, what's he doing about global climate change? I don't even remember what she said. I think she said something about clean air and clean water. She lied. She totally lied. She totally lied. And Michael's going to make himself an old-fashioned. That sounds stronger than what I'm having. It is. So I'm just straightening out my cards here. So we're going to, let's start with the whole debacle around Apple. Because what I'm seeing, I'm actually seeing some of the Republicans from, I can't even call them Republicans. I'm actually seeing some of the MAGAs in Congress growing a pair. That's what I'm seeing. And I know that that's risky for them. I did a pop-up just a little bit earlier, just like an hour and a half ago, and I was reading on what they're going to do. So, I think that we're going to see that. I think that, I mean, they're making a really, they're making a really bad situation for themselves, not stopping this madness. And it is madness. In no uncertain terms, it is madness. Rose, I really do think, and we'll read on it right now. I just want to straighten the cards. I'm one of those tarot readers that straightens the cards out, and I never read them upside down, just because I always felt like the way to do it, because I feel like the cards are complicated enough. So let's pull 3 cards. Warren, I already answered that question. Okay, let's choose 3 cards about Tim Cook versus Donald Trump. And I'm trying to figure out how that all kind of ended up. Did Tim Cook talk to Dumpy? Does anybody know? No, it's fine, Warren. It's a highly charged question. I'm not going to answer that question about what's going to happen with the budget bill. It's too highly charged right now. Terry's here. Yay! Where's my bell? Terry tends to show up on Fridays. Thanks for being here. I think, okay, so let's just kind of unpack this. What Dumpy wants to do is, I guess, penalize Tim Cook for not making iPhones in the United States. So apparently he doesn't understand. Apparently Dumpy doesn't understand that in order to, I mean, not that this is going to happen, but he doesn't seem to understand that in order to have Apple products made in the United States, the infrastructure has to be here, and the infrastructure includes people that want to spend 8 hours or more, because they're not going to take care of the workers. You know, he's trying to turn us into a third world country. He's banking on that Tim Cook can just build factories that make iPhones, and then, so there's no infrastructure for that. And then they're going to find thousands of people who want to do jobs putting iPhones together, putting little tiny screws. You know, this is how it's been described, right? Putting little tiny screws in, and he doesn't seem to understand, because he's just pretty damn stupid, and I'm putting that mildly. Yeah, it is all Putin. That's true. That's true. All roads lead to Putin. He doesn't understand. It's just like, yeah, just make them here, right? With all the intricacies, right? And that we are a global world. We are a global world. We all do well by, okay, you have the minerals and we need, so let's trade, let's do some deals. And by the way, all these deals that they're talking about that they did, they're not doing any deals. So they just lie and lie and lie. Okay, so we're going to look at Tim Cook versus Donald Dumpy. You had rain 3 days straight? John, thank you for assuring me that the sun is going to come out. Like that song, sun will come out tomorrow. We'll see. It's been awful here. It's been just awful. Thank you, Terry, for reminding us what the question is. Or reminding me. The Empress, the Sun, the Page of Cups. Tim Cook is going to placate Dumpy as much as he can. He's going to try to, I'm not saying that he's going to submit to Dumpy's request, but I think he's going to, I don't really see Tim Cook himself talking to Dumpy, but it's more like his people go into the negotiating room and try to talk him out of this insanity, because he's insane. And I do see, these cards are tiny. I do see, so this is between Tim Cook and Dumpy. Okay, Sun and Empress. What Tim Cook is planning to do, if he hasn't already, is kind of send his people in to sit down with Dumpy and to explain how it would be to Dumpy's disadvantage and it would look bad for his image if he continued this BS. I'm sure they'll put it in a kind way. But that's what's going to happen, and I really do see that whatever he's saying, whatever Dumpy's saying he's going to do to Apple, he's not going to do. He's not going to do. I remember when all this technology came out, it was just like, are you an Apple or a PC person? It was like, I don't know. Remember that? I'm an Apple person, just for the record. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Thank you for being here tonight. And for watching all my vids. I'm doing way more vids than ever because I'm, because there's a lot going on and I need to help myself financially. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. So we'll do a group hug. Okay, so let's read on the Dumpy fire sale dinner. I think we need the nefarious cards for that nefarious event, don't you? It makes you wonder what Steve Jobs would do in this situation. If Steve Jobs was still alive and he was here, he wouldn't believe it. The stupidity. He would be bowled over. If Steve Jobs was here by the absolute abject stupidity. His mind would be blown. Okay. We're going to read on the dinner. Now, I just saw a video, I'm trying to remember who it was. Anyway, I saw a video of that. First off, I did hear Carolyn Levitt say when she was asked about the dinner, do the American people get to see a list of who was there? And she referenced it as though it were a, like a private event, and that it's not really about the American people. It's not really for the United States. It's his own private thing. And then lo and behold, there was a podium that had the presidential seal on it. So that makes it an official President of the United States led event. Which is another crime. What the heck is wrong with Carolyn Levitt? She's a blonde bimbo. No offense to anyone who's blonde. I'm not sure where the dinner was, but one thing that we did last night, and I just want you to know, I'm going to give you a little bit of a sort of a sneak preview of what we do on Thursday nights in case you don't join us for those meditations. But last night, yeah, she was saying it was on personal time, but last night we thought about that dinner, and we poured some light into that room to mess up the deals. I'll just say that. Yeah. Anyway, and I actually, it was at Trump National. Is that a hotel? It's probably at McDonald's. Good one, Darren. I got your envelope. Thank you. Why is Carolyn Levitt so screwed up? You know, when you ask me that question, it makes me think about when Jessica Denson was in the cult, because she was in the cult. And we all know Jessica Denson, who's spearheaded several rallies and is doing a fabulous job and used to be on Midas Touch. Carolyn Levitt is in the cult, and if you listen to Jessica Denson, I get the same kind of vibe, that she's just really, really in it. So, let me just choose 3 cards about the dinner. What was going on in that dinner? I was reading on Dumpy earlier, and I got the Devil card and the Fool card. I was reading about the MAGAs in Congress. And I got the Devil card. And here's the Fool card. Okay, well, I'm asking about the dinner. What a fool. What a fool. Nine of Swords is that the lawyers are all over this one. And the world is all over this one also. Now, it was people from all over the world. I did hear that one of them was, I think he was a Chinese, might have been a Bitcoin or tech guy. And he was being investigated, and then he donated to Dumpy's dinner. Maybe his campaign too. And so he was there. They were all like schmoozing. And you know what? If it makes you feel any better, you don't want to be that kind of person. I say it all the time. I don't think it was at the White House. I say it all the time. If it makes you feel any better, be grateful that you're a good person living a good life and you're not hurting anybody. But I get what a fool, because the Knight of Swords is that's all the legal action that will be taken. He will be cited for what he did, and the world is all in the know about what he's doing. This is not a secret. That's why I said, Carolyn Levitt says, Oh, well, this White House is so transparent. Yes, they're wearing the crimes on their sleeves like they want to show you. Look at this crime and look at that crime. And oh, what other crime can we do? Oh, well, it's Tuesday. Let's do. How many crimes should we do on Tuesday? Well, how many do we do on Monday? We did 10 crimes. Let's do 12 on Tuesday. How many crimes would you like to do on Wednesday? How many crimes against the United States of America should we do today? Transparency. That's what it appears to mean. Pardon, January 6th, or yeah. I mean, my God. President Biden visited your state of Connecticut. Say, good. Yeah, they probably have a crime quota. A crime quota. And what I want to know, and more of you need to hit the thumbs up because we need to do a group hug and we need to get to 200. What I want to know, and it's driving me crazy and it's driving you crazy, and that's why I have Off the Ledge every day, because we need to be talked off the ledge. When is somebody gonna say, cut this shit out? When is somebody gonna effing say it? The guys are saying the people have to say it, and the people have to scream, and the people have to call their representatives every day. Let's start doing that. Let's start doing that. Let's start calling our, because I was listening to an interview today. I was in the car, so I didn't see who it was. A representative from California who said that when the people get really loud and they stay consistently loud and they just loud, 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 if we do it daily and pass it on, if we call our representatives daily and say, WTF, who cares if you swear? They log every call. Yep, we have to rise up and fight. Because you know what, honestly, the Democrats are doing really great in the questioning and the hearings. They're doing really great. Wait a minute. We need to help them. Okay, I literally have a whiteboard. I literally have a whiteboard. Scott Bessant. He's like the Treasury Secretary or something. Very bad liar. Very humana, can't figure out how to answer the questions because there's no answer. It's almost like this Scott Bessant. They ask him questions like on Fox, right? They ask him questions and he's just like, well, I don't know. Well, we think we're going to have a deal. We're making deals. Yeah, we're making deals. Well, when will the deals be made? Oh, well, in 90 days, we're going to be having those deals made. And it's like, he is so bad. He is so bad. You know who I'm talking about? Dumpy is coming to Alberta in June. I'm not so sure about that awesomeness. I don't really feel like he is. They're terrible liars. We're going to read on Scott Bessant. First of all, we're going to ask if he's going to remain in his position. Will he be remaining in his position? That's a no. N-O, no. I'm going to read on Scott Bessant first, and then I'm going to ask, is anybody going to say something about this whole train wreck we're in? You know what? Let's reflect for a moment. Aside from MAGA and all that, if you just kind of like kick MAGA out of the way and think about it this way, the United States of America was fine. We were fine. We were fine. So if somebody is, you know, doing all this, and by the way, bashing Biden, and they have, you know, they haven't lost their memory, and they remember just a few months ago, we were fine. We were good. We were fine. People were doing well. People were going out to dinner. They were going on vacations. They didn't feel like they would be unsafe in an airplane. Everyone was happy, right? We were doing good. And he just took a wrecking ball to the whole thing. How many times I wrote that in my Substacks? That what we were in for, if he got in, was a wrecking ball to the United States of America. Nobody can say to me, this is not a wrecking ball. Okay, Yogi Bear, I'm not going to ask that right now. Will the GOP rig the next elections? They always do. We were fine, right? We were fine. But I'll address that in a minute. First, Scott Bessant. The pendulum says he's not going to last in that position. I don't think, I know, I just heard, I don't think any of them are going to last. I just heard that they're not going to last. Well, the death card says that Scott Bessant is not going to remain in that position. Two of Cups, they're talking to him now about not being in that position anymore. I actually feel like Scott Bessant is going to step down because this is obliterating his reputation. I mean, I think he's a finance guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know his history. You know, I don't know. But the death card and the pendulum said no, he's not going to stay in that position. And let me ask this: is he fearing that he's just destroying his public reputation? Oh yeah, and I feel like his wife is talking to him. I'm assuming he's married. Will Lutnick step down? Will Lutnick? Yep, he'll step down too. Yeah, Scott Bessant is really bad. Is it Bessant? I think it's Bessant with an N in there. Bessant has a husband. I was wondering because they live in, yeah, that's why I said, is he, all right, that makes sense. I'm surprised that Dumpy has him because he's, nothing makes sense anymore. All right. Is somebody going to stop this madness? Or at least freaking say something? Let's ask these cards. And we'll put a time frame on it. Like, is somebody going to stop the madness this week? Zircon, you're upside down? What happened? Is it the news? Is it me? All right. Okay. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Right, it's unbelievable. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that Scott Bessant, people are saying, is gay and has a husband. Because he has, reportedly what I've heard is his mansion looks like a Barbie house. It's pink. So it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, everything's off the rails. Okay. Is anybody going to step in this week and say something? Because we're talking about this guy, the orange buffoon, is, I saw him talking about, I think he was talking about computers or technology, and then he started, you may have seen this, and then he said cars instead of what he was talking about, which is a totally different topic altogether. He's doing things like that. Dumpy is doing things like that. He's not making any sense. Remember, how many times did he say Joe Biden couldn't put two sentences together? Joe Biden put an entire world together. Yeah, and I feel the lawyer's stepping up. I really, really, really do. Okay, so I'm asking, is anybody going to step in and stop the madness. Yes. I have the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. I feel like it's the CEOs of the huge companies are going to step in and stop the madness on the economy. Page of Wands. Pages are really showing up a ton lately. We the people. Darren, you're funny. I was just thinking about Nancy Mace. When is she going to get help for her mental problems? Yeah. We'll read on her in a sec. Yes, it does look like it starts with the CEOs that don't want the economy to crash. The stockbrokers, the stockholders, Wall Street. It really, and I've seen this all along. It really is something that they don't want, even the ones that donated to him. Even the ones that donated millions to him. They want this train wreck on the economy to be stopped. What did Bill Gates say about Elon? I know that was in the news, but I didn't catch that. Oh, Don is saying Joe Biden's the best president of your life. Reminds you of how your dad was true and kind. I have to tell you, I can completely relate to that. Because after I found out Biden had cancer, I really kind of went into a funk, and I wasn't really connecting that Joe Biden is kind of from my dad's generation, and my dad's with me in the spiritual but not in the physical anymore. It was hard. Yeah. So the big beautiful bill did not pass, just so you know. It didn't pass because it hasn't been voted on in the Senate yet. Bill Gates has criticized Elon Musk for cutting U.S. foreign aid. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. He's actually responsible for killing children. Yeah, unbelievable. We're getting closer to 200 thumbs up. I'm checking the board. Topics. Let's read on Harvard. Let's read on Harvard. What happens to Harvard? I kind of like these stained glass cards. Yeah, can you imagine having so much money? Can you imagine? I know you can't, but I'm just making a point. Being the richest person in the entire world. And, to Bill Gates' credit, I know Elon's richer, but when you have that many billions, I don't know if the numbers really matter. But Bill Gates did a lot of good with his money. No matter what you think of Bill Gates, he used it for good. There was a place in Africa somewhere that had no sewerage system, no sanitation. I think they didn't even have toilets. And he made sure that he put something together got together engineers and built a whole system, waste treatment system. So Bill Gates has done a lot of good. And if you look up what the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation did, and probably still does, even though they're divorced, at least he's done good. But this that we're in is the demonic. Absolutely. Okay, Harvard. I'm going to pull 3 cards. Thank you, Terry. I almost needed to ask you what the question was going to be. Okay, I'm actually reading on what Harvard, how this is going to go for Harvard. Yeah, he's gutted FEMA. I'm going to give you a perspective on this in a second. On why this is the way that it is. Oh yeah, it's going away. There'll be an end put to what Dumpy's trying to do. The 2 of Cups and the 4 of Cups. All right, this is an opportunity for the other colleges to do the same, the other universities to do the same. where Harvard stands is they're done with this BS. They're done with it. We are not a dictatorship. I know that the United States of America has a history of racism, but we have been working on that for a very long time. Is Elon a lizard alien? Amanda's asking. I'm reading on Harvard right now. The death card means this will end. The lawyers, there's a lot of intimidation here, and actually it's going to, yeah. So the Four of Cups is sort of showing the other universities they should all do the same, or they should have done the same. Let's ask the pendulum. Does Dumpy just lay off? Yeah, he's gonna have to lay off. He doesn't have a case. Yeah, that's coming to a quick end. I mean, come on. It's like, oh, you have students from other countries in Harvard University, so we're gonna deport them. There are no words. Prime Minister Carney's daughter is supposed to be going to Harvard. Not anymore. Amanda's asking if Elon is what do you have? Is he wait, is Elon a what? Hang on a second. I can never find it. I said the other night, if you look at the orange monster, he looks like a monster. He's starting to resemble a lizard. And I'm not saying that. I mean, I know it sounds terrible and it sounds like an insult, but I'm telling you what he looks like to me. Did Harvard deny Barron and Dumpy is taking revenge? I don't know. I wouldn't think that Barron would apply to Harvard. For some reason. I don't know why. Okay. I'm going to ask this. Because it's clear that Dumpy is suffering from some kind of cognitive failure. He almost walked into a wall, or he was headed for the wall twice. We saw him in Saudi Arabia. He was falling asleep. So, is somebody who's around him, is somebody who's around the orange buffoon going to address how dangerous this is and start to talk about we need to do something? Because it's like putting a monkey behind the steering wheel of a bus with people in it. You got to take the controls away. Because the monkey doesn't know how to drive the bus, but I'm sure the monkey is more intelligent, honestly. Is somebody going to finally address this? It's not clear yet. You got a yes? Is somebody going to address this in a timely manner? Okay, so now it's saying yes. So it does look like, I mean, I think this was like, oh, they haven't really decided yet. Yeah, working on it, exactly. No, they have to do something because let's be real for a second. These people have families. No matter how horrible they are, they have families, and they're and everybody's at risk here. We're all in the same ship. So when they see how dangerous it is, the people around Dumpy, when they realize how dangerous it is for themselves, And actually, what I picked up about Scott Bessant was that his reputation is going to hell in a handbasket. Michael saying, you have thought Trump might be a hybrid human? It would explain how he can eat pure garbage and not be dead by now. Have you started drinking your old fashioned yet? Yeah, we were all on this ship together, right? And there they are cutting all regulations from the EPA. Okay, let's all breathe chemicals. Let's all breathe heavy metals. Let's all die. I mean, it will get to a point. It will. There's no way that it won't get to a point where somebody goes, we better do something about this. And that's good beer. All right. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about that. Is somebody finally going to say his brain isn't functioning? And he's starting to behave more and more like a screaming, spoiled, rotten brat toddler. Only they behave better than he does. What are you saying here? Only when the oligarchs are threatened by the loss of income will they act. Well, I already read that. I already read on that, and that's what I saw. Yep, that's what the card said just a few minutes ago. Because I was kind of talking about the same thing. Yeah, I know the Democrats are saying, I know the Democrats are speaking up about it. There's lots of YouTubes about it. It's going to get more and more challenging to not say anything. The 6 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups. And it's just what I was saying. People are going to start thinking, people in the administration are going to start thinking about their welfare and their, I mean, like in the sense of their well-being and their health. Their health. Their own personal safety and health. Yes, something will be said. The 6 of Pentacles, it looks like somebody's building a case for that now. These 2 cards indicate that when people start to think about the harm being done and the even scarier, the potential harm being done to their lives and the lives of their loved ones and everybody, yeah, somebody's going to say something. It's challenging. They don't want to say anything. They're afraid they're going to get the, what do you call it in a cult? You get like blacklisted. They're afraid to, but they will have to. Let's ask for a time frame on that. This is a similar question to one I asked earlier. What's the time frame on somebody finally saying something? Will it be this week? It will be this week. Well, Rose, excommunicated would be a church cult. I think it's like blacklisted. They're going to get the boot. Yes. This whole thing will fall apart like a house of cards when it hits home for the government. Yes, it absolutely will. I totally, Elizabeth, I know that's true. This is not sustainable. And here's my perspective that I mentioned earlier I was going to tell you. My perspective is this, and it's been this all along, as soon as all this stuff came down. The fact that the transparency of the crimes that they're committing is so impossible to ignore or downplay. Every single aspect of our lives, they are attempting to destroy, as if they don't have to be on the same planet, right? Every single aspect of our lives, they went through with a fine-tooth comb. How can we destroy this? How can we destroy that? How can we destroy this? How can we destroy? They went for everything. The Harvard thing, like somebody was saying, Obama went to Harvard. That's probably a big part of the reason. Yeah, Obama went to Harvard, and people that are smart went to Harvard, and Dumpy he cannot handle anybody else. He knows they're smarter, but he can't handle that they get accolades because of their natural hard work and talent. Well, the MAGA voters that have realized they've been duped start revolting against their representatives. Yes, I've seen that. I saw that a couple of years ago. I saw that happening. So, and actually, in my pop-up today, I mentioned Pope Leo. Oh, we just hit 201. We'll do a group hug. Obama's daughter went to Harvard, too. Did she graduate already? Yes, we did it. Dumpy's IQ is 47. So in a way, there's like, we got to think about the positive here. This is affecting everybody. And if it was only affecting a few people, it would be one thing. But every horrible thing that they're doing to kill America, and I mean that literally, this bill they're trying to pass is being called the murder bill, is making it clear. There's not one person, unless they're just a big fat jerk who pretends they go along with all this. There's not one person that won't be affected. There's not one person that won't know what's going on. And we need for everybody to see this. Which, from a cosmic standpoint, is kind of why we're going through this, because we have to all see it. And it's like, I just want to say real quick, January 6, 2021, I was taken aback by, well, first of all, it was on the date of the Christian holy day, the Epiphany, which was about the revelation, kind of seeing everything. And all those domestic terrorist groups that had been underground were holding up their phones going, look at me, look at me, look at me. Now, I know that didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to, but we're still in the process of kicking out the darkness. I do my best, Dawn. Okay, let me choose from my list. Attacking the EU. Are there any deals at all? Yeah, we had our chance to wake up on January 6th, and not enough people did. We have to reach the critical mass of people that have woken up. And I told you this bill was dead on arrival. So Warren, I don't know how you missed that the other night. Let's do a group hug. Shall we? Let's do a group hug. Let's imagine the energy of all the American people's resistance being felt. Let's imagine a huge hammer of justice. You can just imagine it coming down right in front of Dumpy and saying, "You shall not pass." Yeah, terrible things happened. That Jewish couple was shot down. That worked for the Israeli embassy. Yeah. Let's bring them into our group hug. And the people. There's been another plane crash. See, this is not sustainable. Something has to be done. We are crazy if we don't do something. Everything we can. So, yeah. So just imagine a huge hammer of justice, huge, dinosaur size, coming down, boom, right in front of Dumpy. You shall not pass. You are not going any further. And we'll lift our own vibration, and let's think about all the people that are frightened, the people that were deported, the people in the colleges that are not knowing what to do, and everyone who's really struggling right now. Let's hold them in our hug. Mary, we're doing a hug. We're lifting the energy. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's so nice to hug you all virtually. Thank you. So nice. So as we all know, this zone that we're in, the Psychic News Network, is a safe space where you can be knowing, you can be here knowing that if somebody becomes negative, we gently coax them away. I felt the energy of that hug too. Yep, it's real. It's real. Let's send energy to Joe Biden. It's real. And please do the meditations from Thursday nights. Last night we kind of focused on that dinner. I think we screwed some things up for them. I really do. And I thought about that when I saw that he went right out there and stood at a podium that had the presidential seal. That's illegal. Another illegal thing. Thank you, Rose. Endorsing readings with me. What's up with Billy Joel? How did I miss that? Is he sick? Let's read on the boss. Let's read on Bruce. He's been diagnosed with a brain disorder. I think they're going to have treatment for that. I think they're going to treat that. Yeah, I feel like they're going to treat that. I think they're going to have some kind of a cure. I kind of feel like Billy Joel's going to, let's hope he doesn't lose the use of his hands. Gosh, I can't even, that would be awful. But I think they're going to figure it out and he'll be okay. Yeah. To me, what's going on with Billy Joel feels a little bit like similar to the effects of a stroke. It might be affecting his motor skills. But I'm reading on Bruce because yeah, I feel like it's going to be treated. Psychic attack from who? To Billy Joel? Who? What do you mean, Celtic Seer? I'm confused by that. Okay, so I mentioned this before, but Bruce Springsteen has a son who's a cop, and Bruce Springsteen is really good friends with Obama. They did a radio show together. I have a book of their conversations with great photographs. It's like a coffee table book. I showed it to you a long time ago. I mean, I bet you anything. Let's ask this. Did Obama call up Bruce, his friend, and say, hey, if you need to use my Secret Service, you can feel free. I'll send him over. That's my Obama. Yeah, I just got yes. Born in the USA. You can't get any more American than Bruce Springsteen. Did you like my Obama impression? I know, I did really good. The Tower, Nine of Swords, the Sun. They're going to try to, because, Dumpy has to, Dumpy needs to, it was spot on, really? Dumpy needs to make it look scary. But the Sun says he's probably not going to want to do that for too long. Will Bruce encounter any kind of shenanigans when he comes back? Yeah, I think they're going to stop and question him because they're big fat jerks. But the Sun being shown on what they're going to try to do to the boss is really, you like my Obama, that's funny, is really going to be like, wow, they probably shouldn't have done that because they made it worse for themselves. I don't get that Bruce is upset or scared. I think, and by the way, I heard his little speech, and I never heard him mention Trump. I never heard him mention Trump's name. He didn't even say his name. He probably doesn't want that name. He probably doesn't want to say it. Like we don't like to say it. All right, let me check my list. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please consider becoming a member. The next class I'm going to have available for members only is about how to be psychic. It's going to be 5 days of videos that are like 20 minutes each. I'll start that next week. Are there any deals at all? Are there any deals about these tariffs at all? I want to tell you all that today I feel certain that we're going to shut this shit down. I really do. And it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay. Are there any deals about this tariff situation? They keep saying they're doing deals, they're working on deals. Have any deals been done? Okay. How many deals have been done with other countries? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see. How many countries is he putting those tariffs on? There's some kind of deals. Well, the entire world, right? 4 deals. They've done 4 deals. How many left? How many countries are there? How many countries are there in the world? You know, he's making deals with the penguins over there on that island where there's only penguins. About 4 deals were done. You got 7? Oh, the 7 countries, right. Okay, but there's all these, the 7 continents. There's 7 continents. There's more than 7 countries. How will he negotiate with the penguins? I'm not really sure. You got that there are 5? Yeah, 4 or 5 deals have been done. And I don't get that they're lasting. I really feel the rest of the world's laughing at him hysterically. Okay. Well, hang on. How many MAGAs are waking up? What percentage of MAGAs are waking up? Is it 10%, 20, 30, 40? We got about 40% of MAGAs waking up. Google says there are 195 recognized countries in the world. So I got that there are 4 or 5 that he's made deals with, and they don't really even feel like deals. The buffoon needs to be called a liar to his face frequently. I agree with that. Okay. I do want to read on what's going on in Russia because I feel a lot of shifty, changey things going on there. Not in Russia's favor. Continue to pray for the Russian people, everybody, please. We're getting a taste of what it's like to have a madman lead your country. You thought I meant continents? It's okay. All right. The war on Ukraine. Oh my goodness, it's almost been an hour. Hidden in the you mean the murder bill is something that could, I don't feel like it's going to pass. Is something that could disarm the Supreme Court. I just don't think it's going to pass. Do I think Putin will be bye-bye by the year end? He has doubles, so it's hard to really say. Okay. Okay, so about 40% of MAGAs have woken up. That's a good percentage. We have a little ways to go. Yeah, read Patriot by Alexei Navalny. That's what that is. Justice is coming from the world, 10 of Swords. I think, and I've been picking up on this for a few weeks now, the EU and NATO are coming together to take Putin down. I see strategic war plans. it's amazing to me, and it's always been amazing to me, which is maybe why that might have contributed to my one of the greatest misreads of my entire career as a psychic was Putin invading Ukraine. And what I said then was, he won't do it because he's going to have all these countries gang up on him. He won't do it. He's not that stupid. And so, and I dropped out of my channel for about 2.5 months because I was so freaked out by what had happened. And so, what I am seeing here, I don't agree we'll never be rid of Putin. Tyrants always fall, eventually. So there's no never. Yeah, it has to come to an end soon. I'm right on the same page as Michael from what I'm seeing here, because I'm asking about Putin and I have the world and justice. So, I mean, it doesn't take a psychic to read this. Yeah, so he got really brazen. I almost said dumpy. Putin did. And now, you know, like I did see the other countries come together. I mean, some things take time, apparently. You may have noticed that some things have to just really, we have to stew in them, unfortunately, just from a general energy perspective before they correct themselves. And people, yeah, the Russian people are fed up with him. And I've predicted that the Russian people will overthrow him. They've tried. Yeah, Nazi Germany fell, you know, the Soviet Union came to an end, this too will come to an end. And let's just keep that in our consciousness. He dug a huge hole for Russia. And this is like many countries, now that he's decided to put troops on the border of Finland, I mean, that's getting real. It's getting real serious. But I feel like that the EU and NATO have been in numerous talks, making very clear plans. Will we see the war in Ukraine end? We will. I have a yes on that. We will see it end. We will see it end. That's a strong yes. We will see the war end. When that happens, will Dumpy still be in office? No. He also has the troops on Finland's border. He lost an entire generation of young men. He's a crazy, crazy maniac. No offense to people from Maine. Will Dumpy be I can't get it out of my mouth. Will he be taken down? Will Dumpy be taken down this year? Yes, he will be taken down this year. I get that when Putin falls, Dumpy's already done. He's already done. Yes, the vibes of the world today cannot sustain this evil. Yes, I heard there were, you know, those big war machines, artillery on the border of Finland and Poland. Yeah. Yeah, may it be so. It is going to be so. I got a couple really powerful messages. I'll read you one of them again on Monday, or maybe during an Off the Ledge. I'll read it. Tune into Off the Ledge tomorrow. I usually do it like around 10 in the morning, and I'll read to you what I read a few nights ago about. I watch Rick Steves, who has a great, really, his shows are so educational. His travel shows, and he has a show about Nazism in Europe. And after I watched it, and lots of footage of Hitler and even Mussolini, you'll see clips of Mussolini and looking exactly like Trump. And it, you know, after I watched it, I got this really strong message that humanity won't be able to drum up that many people in a hating frenzy again. So the world is on our side. They know we're in crisis. They know that the American people are good people, and we're in the same boat that Russia's in a particular way, and that we have a crazed maniac, deranged person. So funny when he says, "Oh, you have Trump derangement syndrome." No, it's, yeah, Trump derangement syndrome is you're deranged, Trump, and I'm noticing that you're deranged. Right? New report mouse in the house. Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Okay, let's do 3 cards to, it's past an hour. Let's do 3 community cards before we go. Yeah, Don saying he saw that episode with Rick Steves. Definitely check it out. Your dad was a history buff. Awesomeness. History major. Yeah, cool. My dad read a lot of books about history too. I really liked that he was informed. I think that rubbed off on me. 3 cards, 3 community cards to see what the guides have for us for the weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend. Before we go, I want to say please attend the memorial services in your wherever you live. Go show our military, our veterans, show them we appreciate them. Yeah, if I'll find that episode of Rick Steves' Nazism in Europe. I'll post it on my post page. Please, are you all gonna go? Tell me you're gonna go to a Memorial Day service, to commemorate our veterans. Come on. Are you going to go to you guys? Definitely. I will, and I'll do some footage. I don't know if I'll be live. Okay. Yes, going to the cemetery. Yes. Most places where I live is extremely patriotic, not in a MAGA way, but honestly, it's a little bit over the top. We have too many American flags in my city. And the entire boulevard is lined with flags. Rest in peace, Norm from Cheers. That was a great show. Over the weekend, we're going to find out that Dumpy is ill. 4 of Swords. The Emperor is sick. You don't have any cemeteries in New York City where you are, but I'm not asking that. I'm asking about Memorial Day services. You know. No tea leaves because I'm drinking beer tonight. Hang on, because I have one more card that fell, and you really need this information. Because I'm reading about over the weekend what's going to happen. These are cards for the community. What can you expect over the next couple of days? I will be doing pop-ups too. And good. I'm glad you're going to look for Memorial Day services. It really warms my heart. Over the weekend, we're going to find out that the Emperor is sick. And where was that other card? Wait a minute. Don't think this means death. But I dropped one card and then I picked another and it was a death card. Okay? So you can interpret that as you will. But we're going to see something major shift in the next couple of days. This administration is going to be brought down. All right. So if you can go in person to a Memorial Day service, please do. Over the weekend, I'm going to play my song, maybe during Church of Spirituality. I wrote a song about Vietnam many years ago. I may play that. Church of Spirituality is every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll probably play it then. And I'll do Off the Ledge and pop-ups over the weekend. Okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up and subscribing, and thank you to my members. Thank you to all of you who donate. It really helps me pay my bills. I'm kind of dependent on you all, on your love and generosity. Your dad had a Purple Heart, World War II. Wow, good for you. That's so sweet. Yeah, this part of the country is quite patriotic. Happy Memorial Day weekend. You'll see me every day. Namaste. Go have some fun. Okay, bye. Thanks, Terry.